let's talk about the 2023 new most anticipated Hollywood movies scheduled to release this spring season. So let's dig in, folks. And please don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. This year has already been an impressive one at the movies, from new horror stories like Megan, Infinity Pool, and Knock at the Cabin, to continuations of major franchises like Magic Mike's Last Dance and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. 2023 started off with some heavy hitters, and the next few months show that this year shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. This spring, we get the return of Adonis Creed, Shazam, John Wick, and Ghostface. We'll see Mario exploring the Mushroom Kingdom, the demons of Evil Dead rising once more, and Adam Driver fighting dinosaurs. What more could you want? Let's take a look at some of the new releases coming out this spring. So, here we go. Despite being around for nearly 50 years, the Rocky franchise proved there's still plenty of gas left in this tank with the Creed series, which put Michael B. Jordan's Adonis Creed, the son of Apollo Creed, at the center of the story. While this new angle on this boxing story has been quite a revitalization of this series, Creed 3 might be one of the most fascinating installments in this franchise, as this will be the first film in this series without Sylvester Stallone's Rocky Balboa. Also fascinating is that Creed 3 marks the directorial debut of Jordan, and it will be exciting to see if Jordan has learned from close friend and Creed director Ryan Coogler for his first time behind the camera. But, oh yeah, there's a story to Creed 3. This time, Jordan's Creed will face off against his childhood friend Damian Anderson, played by Jonathan Majors, who is already clearly claiming 2023 as his year. With Stallone out and Jordan as director, it's going to be very interesting to see how this series moves out of the past and into the future. Number 2, Scream 6 releasing on 10th of March. After 11 years away, the Scream franchise returned last year, killing off longtime franchise favorites, and setting up new characters who have a past deeply ingrained with the stars of the previous films. Scream 6 continues this beloved horror series, breaking the mold of what worked before, as we find our cast coming against Ghostface in New York City. It will also be curious to see how this series explains the absence of series lead Sidney Prescott, Neve Campbell, an integral part of these films up to this point. Scream hasn't had a shortage of characters obsessed with the past, and the murderer in Scream 6 seems to be taking it even further than previous killers, complete with a museum dedicated to past Ghostface. Will the series' new directors Matt Bettinelli and Tyler Gillett's attempts to change up the formula in a new location and shifting cast help or hurt this series? Number 3, 65 releasing on March 10th. Really, all you probably need to know about 65 is that it involved Adam Driver and dinosaurs. Driver stars as Mills, a pilot who crashes on an unknown planet and finds he's on the Earth 65 million years ago, hence the name, and he and the other survivor of the crash, Koa, Ariana Greenblatt, have to find their way to safety. 65 comes from writer-director team Scott Beck and Brian Woods, best known for writing A Quiet Place, and is produced by Sam Raimi. In a year that has already given us the killer doll of M3GAN and the cocaine bear of Cocaine Bear, 65 seems like another excellent addition to 2023's list of weird-as shit movie ideas that work. Number 4, Champions releasing on 10th of March. It has almost been a decade since Bobby and Peter Farrelly have made a movie together, and in that time, Peter has gone on to write and direct the Oscar-winning Green Book and last year's The Greatest Beer Run Ever. However, Bobby will be making his solo directorial debut with Champions, about a minor league basketball coach, Woody Harrelson, who as part of a community service requirement, ends up coaching a team to prepare them for the Special Olympics. A remake of the 2018 Spanish film of the same name, Champions sounds more in line with the types of comedies that the Farrelly brothers used to make together, and it will be interesting to see how Bobby's solo work differs from that of his brother. Number 5. Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Releasing on 17th of March. Shazam! Fury of the Gods will be the first film from DC since James Gunn announced the upcoming plans for where this universe is heading, and while Fury of the Gods was filmed prior to Gunn and Peter Safran taking over as the co-chiefs of DC Studios, who knows what threads the latest DC film will be setting up for the future. Zachary Levi will return as Billy Batson/Shazam, and this Shazam sequel will also introduce the Daughters of Atlas, played by Rachel Zegler, Lucy Liu, and Helen Mirren. Fury of the Gods seems to exist in this weird middle ground, like The Flash, where it's born out of the DCU, but could mean important things for the future of DC's upcoming plans. Number 6. John Wick, Chapter. Releasing on March 24th. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back is an understatement at this point. Not only do we have The Ballerina, a TV show set in the Wickiverse coming in the near future, but John Wick, Chapter 4 seems like it's going to be the biggest adventure for John Wick, Keanu Reeves, so far. Not only is the upcoming fourth installment close to 3 hours of Wickified adrenaline, but this cast continues to grow, with this latest film adding Donnie Yen, Scott Adkins, Hiroyuki Sanada, Shamir Anderson, Rina Sawayama, Clancy Brown, Mark Zahrer, and Bill Skarsgård. It's been almost 4 years since we've seen Wick kick an absurd amount of ass, but yeah, we're thinking he's back. Number 7. Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. Releasing on March 31st. We've seen attempts to bring Dungeons & Dragons to the screen before, but Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves might actually be the film to bring the role-playing game to life effectively. Directed by Game Night's John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein, Honor Among Thieves looks to be just enough of an action-adventure comedy to lure in D&D beginners, but with plenty of references to keep the diehard fans content. Plus with a cast that includes Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, Regine Page, Justice Smith, Sophia Lillis, and Hugh Grant, that's quite a group to bring this fantasy world to the big screen, and maybe even turn some viewers into potential players. Number 8. The Super Mario Bros. Movie. Releasing on April 5th. 30 years after Nintendo last attempted to bring the Mario Brothers to the big screen, Nintendo tries again, this time with the help of Illumination, the team behind Despicable Me and The Secret Life of Pets, to create something that looks far more what our childhoods looked like. The trailers for this trip into the Mushroom Kingdom have so far been bright, fun, and seem to have a good grasp of what has made this series so beloved for decades, as Mario, yes, voiced by Chris Pratt, helps Princess Peach, Anya Taylor-Joy, and her entire kingdom take out the threat caused by Bowser, Jack Black. From the hints of other galaxies to a quick flash of Mario and friends on carts, it looks like the Super Mario Bros. Movie will be a burst of nostalgia and an appreciation of all things this Lil Plumber has done over the years. Let's go. Number 9. Evil Dead Rise. Releasing on April 21st. Evil Dead has been around since the late 70s in some form or another, but it's been almost a decade since the last film in the installment, 2013's Evil Dead. Now, a decade after the last film in the series, Evil Dead Rise brings the evil out of the woods and to Los Angeles, where a mysterious book, wonder which one it is found in the building of Ellie, Alyssa Sutherland, a mother of 3 who has become possessed. The trailers so far show an interesting new direction for this franchise, yet one that maintains the series' insane horror and pitch-black comedy. Hell, what other franchise could make the line "Mommies with the Maggots" now both extremely disturbing and oddly hilarious?